And how is the world reacting? To Nancy Pelosi's visit, to the Chinese military action, and to pretty much everything else that we just spoke about. What is the world's take on the Taiwan showdown? As always, the world is divided. Some countries support China, others back Taiwan and Pelosi, and still others are firmly on the fence. The most interesting case is that of Europe. Their silence is telling. It raises questions on whether the West is united on Taiwan. If America joins a conflict in Taiwan, will Europe back it? We'll discuss that. Let's first tell you about the countries that are backing China. The usual suspects: Pakistan, North Korea, Russia, Iran, Belarus, Cuba, Myanmar, surprisingly Thailand and Sri Lanka. Lankan President Ranil Wickremesinghe posted this. He says he met with the Chinese ambassador and reiterated Sri Lanka's support for the One China policy. Now, what's the One China policy? It is based on the principle that there is just one China and Taiwan is a part of that China. All of the other countries that I just mentioned, from Pakistan to Cuba to Russia, have issued similar statements, all of them supporting the One China policy. Cuba, in fact, has gone a step further. It says it condemns the interference in China's quote-unquote internal affairs. I wonder what the people of Taiwan will have to say to this. And this is Pakistan's word of support for China. It says, and I'm quoting, Pakistan strongly reaffirms its strong commitment to the One China policy and firmly supports China's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Lots of adjectives. And frankly, anything less from Pakistan would have been news. This is not. This is what Pakistan is saying. What about Russia? Russia says China has the right to hold military drills around Taiwan. Well, who gave China that right? Nancy Pelosi's quote-unquote unnecessary provocation, says Russia. Listen to this.
Вы знаете, что напряженность в регионе была и вокруг Тайваня, собственно.
As you know, the tensions in the region around Taiwan were caused artificially. We all understand what caused those tensions: Nancy Pelosi's visit. It was an absolutely unnecessary visit and an unnecessary provocation. As for the drills, it's China's sovereign right to hold them.
А что касается маневров, то это суверенное право Китая.
And just like there's support for China, there's also an outpour of criticism. Liz Truss, Britain's prime ministerial hopeful and current foreign secretary, is among the most vocal critics. She says, I do not support China's inflammatory language on the issue. The G7 too has called out Chinese aggression. In a statement, G7 foreign ministers said, and I quote, there is no justification to use a visit as pretext for aggressive military activity in the Taiwan Strait. Europe's Foreign Affairs representative, Josep Borrell, has asked China to not read too much into Nancy Pelosi's visit. This is what he said. It is normal and routine for legislators from our countries to travel internationally. Closer home, Japan has expressed concerns over the PLA's military drills. Tokyo says that a number of Chinese missiles landed within Japan's exclusive economic zone, EEZ. Exclusive economic zone. Japan has lodged a protest with China. They've called it a matter of their national security. But what about Europe? What do individual European nations have to say? Not very much at the moment. Remember, not too long ago, India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar had said that Europe must grow out of the mindset that the world's problem is not Europe's problem. And Europe's reaction to the present crisis fits perfectly into that template. European countries have chosen to stay out of this. Europe, being Europe, has put its trade above Taiwan, it seems. China is the EU's largest import partner and the third largest export partner. So it seems Europe does not want to risk trade for what it believes is America's fight. Europe is also very aware of its own ongoing war. And can you blame them? Plus, Europe swears by the One China policy. It neither recognizes Taiwan nor is its strategy on Taiwan ambiguous, as is the case with the US. And this explains Borrell's almost consolatory statement. Most European nations are quiet, Lithuania being the exception. Lithuania's foreign minister says Pelosi has opened the door to Taiwan much wider. I'm sure other defenders of freedom and democracy will be walking through soon. Again, this is on expected lines given Lithuania's recent tussle with China. Remember, Lithuania had let Taipei open a quasi-embassy in Vilnius. It had also sent ministers to Taipei. China retaliated by slapping sanctions, and all of this happened very recently. So when it comes to Taiwan, Europe looks divided, just like the rest of the world. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.